In 1911, Ms. Helen A. Ganser was hired as librarian of the normal school. Prior to 1922, the library would have to close due to cold and darkness, but in 1922, they added electricity. By spring 1961, the chapel in Old Main was being used as a library annex. The new library was built in the same general location to keep it at the center of the campus. A conveyor system was installed in one of the stairwells that went the whole way from the top floor of the library to the basement. According to Access Services Supervisor Deborah Sowers, when the box exited to the conveyor landing, it was lifted off and placed on a particular skid by the collection code and number labels. The skids were filled with 30 boxes and then shrink-wrapped around the sides and forklifted onto the truck for delivery to the warehouse, where the pallets were arranged by collections on a huge pallet frame in the warehouse. There were 475 pallets prepared for the general collections of the library. This is not including the special collections pallets. The Dewey collections are being reclassified to Library of Congress classification, so all of these pallets needed to be replaced on the lower frames so that the staff will have access to these collections while residing at the warehouse offices.
The very first step of the boxing project was to put a label on a box. We started that on September the 15th. The first part would be take that empty box with the label on it and place it on what we call book cart.
Janet Dotterer coordinated the archives and special collections move from the library to the Franklin House.
It was a very involved process that started in May of this year, in which we started packing up the books in special collections, and we inventoried everything that we packed. And so we did our reading room first, and then we moved into what we had in storage in the basement, which was a lot of unprocessed materials. And that didn't take quite as long because we didn't need as much of an inventory. But then when we did our manuscripts, rare books, and archives, we inventoried everything. And so that took us all summer and into the fall, and we really finished it up the first week of October, only to move at the second week of October. And that was just moving everything into storage.
According to MillersvilleUniversity.com, the Helen A. Ganser Library holds 4 of the stained glass windows originally placed in Old Main, in the lobby from right to left. After the library is renovated, all of the stained glass windows will remain, but will be moved to new locations. The cracked or broken pieces of glass will be replaced, and new display cases will be fabricated. Millersville University is utilizing an off-campus warehouse in Greenfield. An average of 996 boxes were packed daily, conveyed down the stairs, and delivered to the warehouse. A total of 50 trips were made to the warehouse for just the general book collection. The labels that they prepared and placed on each box identifies each pallet. Currently, students can use the temporary library located in Gerhardt Hall. They can also go on to Millersville University Library's website and use the Easy Borrow system or the online live chat with the librarian if they need help locating materials.
I understand that our estimated time frame for returning all of these book collections back could be as soon as February 2013.
The completion for the new library is slated to be a grand opening during the fall semester of 2013.